Is it okay if I destroy your camera over the weekend? No? Good morning, guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do something different. We're going to do a little bit of outside the box testing on a $17 dash cam and a $100 dash cam that I just reviewed. Those of you guys that have not seen the review for this, I'm going to go ahead and leave that link right here. I really like this camera, and it's unfortunate that my wife went and stole it for her car, but it's okay. I think I'm going to get a little bit of payback on her today. What we're going to do is review the quality of this $17 dash cam. You can see it's got this little flip screen here, so you can record stuff. And then we're going to review the quality of this $100 dash cam. Once we're done with that, we're going to put the cameras through a battery of tests. Unconventional testing. I'm not taking these things to a shop, I'm not taking these to a lab and testing them under perfect conditions. These are what I call semi-realistic conditions. And the best way to describe it is, I'm going to subject both of these cameras to a series of tests that would make any American proud. And those tests are getting hit directly with a football and seeing how well do they survive an impact. And I know what you guys are thinking, well, why the hell are you guys going to hit, why are you going to hit these perfectly good dash cams with a football? Well, if you guys are ever inside a car accident and your vehicle rolls over, or if you guys have a 2x4 that comes flying in and hits your windshield, don't you guys want to know if these things can even survive an impact? So if neither one can survive an impact, why should you guys trust it? The next thing that we're going to do is subject them to a heat torture test. Like I said, it's not a laboratory, so I have to take the next best thing. My wife won't let me use the oven, so I gotta use the barbecue. I'm gonna heat up the barbecue to 200 degrees gradually, and I'm gonna put both of these in there. And we're gonna see how well do they fare at 200 degrees for, let's say, about 8 minutes. 8 minutes is nothing, because in the grand scheme of things, when you guys live in Arizona, or you guys live in Florida, or somewhere that is extremely hot, the inside temperature of your car will easily hit 200 degrees in no time. And that's why it's really, really important to know which one of these will survive best. Keep in mind that the $17 dash cam has a battery, so I'm already a little bit concerned if my barbecue is going to explode and light on fire. But this one does not have a battery at all. But that doesn't mean anything. Maybe this one will melt faster, maybe this one won't. So we're going to go ahead and subject both of them to that test. Inside the parking lot, and I'm just demonstrating how they record inside the vehicle. The auto-vox D6 Pro has a much wider angle and can see a lot better inside the car, where the $17 camera is more zoomed in and has a lot narrower view. So this is to give you guys a better understanding of how well they function within the vehicle. Let's go ahead and do some road tests and see what is it like, or let's see what the video quality is like on the road. So here we are with the $17 dash cam, and as you guys can clearly see, or not so clearly see, it's very blurry and shaky. It's very potato-esque, and you can't even see this road sign that I'm coming up to, let alone the license plate in front of me. The quality overall is poor. I don't think this is even recording in 720p. I think we may be in 480 range. I'm getting pretty close to this car right now, and I'm having a lot of difficulty making out the tag. And I think right about there I almost had it, and it's gone again. So this is just to show you the big difference in the resolution. So this is obviously the auto-vox D6 Pro. You can see by the timestamp there. The signs are clearly visible. The resolution is amazing on this camera. There's a little bit of glare reflecting off the actual dash of the vehicle. Now let's creep up on this trailer and see if we can actually read the tag. Let me just slow down a little bit and get as close as I can, and right there I can read the tag. It says Y42FBP. So the resolution does make a world of difference. I would feel a lot more confident with this camera in the event of an accident than the other one. Now this is some shots that were taken at dusk, and as you guys can see, it's pointless because the brightness of my headlights washes out the tag on the back of the vehicle,
and the resolution is once again poor. I can kind of make out that crosswalking sign, but other than that it's very difficult to actually see any pertinent information that would identify this area. And this is the auto-vox D6 Pro, and as you guys can see, the angle is a lot wider. The license plate is more clearly visible. I can see that it's HRC N26. I can also make out that it's a Sprinter, and I can see the intersection that we are at. So this camera has a far better quality that will give you any necessary evidence that you may need to identify the area.
First camera that's up, $17 dash cam. And it's gone. So as you guys can see, the $17 dash cam was just destroyed. We're going to go ahead and see if the footage is recoverable and get another one of these for the heat test. Alright, let's hit this D6 Pro head on. That worked. The camera's relatively fine, just had a little bit of dirt in it, but lens is good, everything else is fine. Looks like it took the hit right there, and knocked something loose. So let's see if this thing still records. Okay guys, it looks like after taking a direct hit with a football, the auto-vox is working just fine. The video quality is still there, everything is still perfect. The only thing that has happened is the speaker no longer functions on it. So if I put my hand underneath it, I don't know whether it's snapping a picture, I don't know what's going on, but overall the camera is functioning perfectly fine. For this part of the test, we're going to use the barbecue. We're going to get the internal temperature to 200 degrees, and then here we have a new $20 dash cam since the first one did not survive the impact. And then here we have the D6 Pro. This is the same one that got hit by the football, same one with the speaker that's detached, same one that I tested over there. So let's go ahead and put them into the barbecue. Let's check what the temperature is first. Oh man, this is hot. Let's see what we're at. 201. 94 degrees Celsius. So I think we're right where we need to be. Drop these burners down a bit. Plop these guys in. Let's go ahead and leave it open. Just like that. No, closed. Leave it closed. With the screen side up. And then this is going to go in just like that. Just like that. See what the temperatures are. That little guy is 122 degrees right now. This little guy is 124 degrees. Let's set the camera here and watch as we get cooking here for a few minutes. That's 127 degrees. 147 degrees. Well, they're not hot yet. Alright guys, it's been about 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and check the temperatures on both of them and see how well they're doing. First, the temperature of the aluminum foil is 171 degrees. And then the temperature of the camera is 138, 151. So in Celsius, that's 66. 66. So this one's heating up a lot faster than that one. We'll check in probably about another 2 minutes to see how well they're doing then. The temperatures are 132 still and 154, so they're still holding on to their temperatures consistently. And the temperature of the aluminum foil is about 170. We're going to go ahead and just crank this heat up a bit, and then we'll check in and see how well it's doing in probably another 2 minutes. Temperatures of the cameras are the same. They haven't changed a bit. So it's like as if the cameras aren't even heating up. It's at the bottom. Oh fuck, that bitch is hot. I think that battery is about to explode. And this is all... Fuck, that bitch is hot. Alright, that was not my smartest moment right there. The underside temperatures are 200 and... let's see if we can get a reading on it. The underside is 210 or 99 degrees Celsius, and then the D6 Pro is 93 degrees Celsius, 194 degrees. So they're definitely cooking right now. Give them about another 2 minutes, and then we'll take them off of there and see how well they function. Alright guys, it's been about 2 minutes. We're going to get the final temperatures and I'm pulling them off. Temperature of the camera is 195 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature of the D6 Pro is 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And the temperature of the actual aluminum foil is 367 degrees. That's 338 degrees, 170 degrees Celsius. So they've definitely been cooking on there. We're going to go ahead, and this time I'm going to be smart and use the tongs. Shut this thing down. See how well do these cameras still function. Alright guys, this is the cameras off the barbecue. As you guys can see, the cheaper camera is just completely melted on both sides. And then the D6 Pro is warped, but it's not melted. Here it's a little bit melted, right about that area. So they're both pretty hot right now. I'm gonna let them cool off for just a bit, and then we will... That's hot. We'll go ahead and let them cool off for just a bit, and then we will test them to see if they turn on and if they can still record. Alright guys, finally these cameras cooled down to the point where I could touch them. So this is the result of the heat damage that happened to them. First one is a $20 camera. The $20 camera, the screen itself melted, and of course the back of it just completely cracked and destroyed over here, and it's very brittle. The whole camera itself has become very, very brittle. The battery compartment itself has expanded and puffed out. I actually had to take the lithium battery out of here and toss it out because it was ridiculous. This thing was just ready to explode. So the camera is shot. I tried my best to turn it on and it would not turn on no matter what I did. So this camera is obviously toast. Now, the D6 Pro sustained a lot of damages as well. This whole area is melted. Right over here the connection is melted. The camera itself is puffed up, especially here. If you slide your hand over it, you can see that this is higher and this is higher, and then you got a nice little divot right there. And the lens itself is glass, so there's really no damage on that end. Let's see, the only other noticeable thing that I see is on the bottom end, has a few melt points. Something interesting that I found out, when I went to go test this after pulling it out from the barbecue, it would not turn on because it was way too hot. I'm pretty sure that I just toasted this camera. I have it plugged in and nothing is happening whatsoever. It is still really, really hot. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, come back out here and see if maybe it has some sort of internal temperature settings that are preventing it from turning on. The lights weren't even coming on. I for sure thought that this camera was toast. But then after a few minutes, I came back and I plugged it back in and it worked out just fine. It's working, so that's pretty cool. The important factor that I found out from this camera is if you expose it to high amounts of heat, it's not going to turn on. And it actually wouldn't turn back on until the temperature of the camera itself was about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So my guess is because of the Wi-Fi connectivity and the way that this camera is built, it has a thermal sensor in it, and it probably trips it at 180 degrees and it won't activate, it won't turn on. So the safe operating temperature for this camera is below that. If you live somewhere that's extremely hot, I would probably strongly recommend that you guys take this off your windshield, and when you get back inside your car, slide it back in and plug it in. Because if you leave this in the direct heat, if you leave this in the direct sunlight, it's not going to turn on when you guys turn on the car. And that's something that you guys shouldn't freak out about, saying, you know, what the crap, this thing's defective, it's faulty. It's not. It's just the camera's ability that it just doesn't want to function in high heat. Just got done with all three tests, and the final choice is going to be ultimately up to you guys on what you guys want to do with your money. But on my end, I would strongly recommend that you guys spend the extra money and buy a better camera, because this camera unfortunately could not handle the resolution at all. It was so bad. It was really, really bad. And not only that, the format that this records in, you have to download a special program and everything just to get it to work with today's computers. And this one here works great. I love the fact that it's wireless. I love everything about that. That's awesome. Now, the direct impact test, this one failed. This one worked. The speaker no longer functions on it, but it still works. And the final test, the heat test, the barbecue test, completely destroyed this camera. The battery did not explode like I thought it was going to do, but it puffed up. It puffed up to the point where I had to get rid of it. I had to throw it out because it was just a huge safety hazard. Now, this one did get subjected to some warping. Yeah, it's kind of fused in right now. It doesn't want to move, but it still functions. So the bottom line is, yes, I would choose the D6 Pro over a $17 dash cam. And I hope this, in some way, shape, or form, helps you guys decide on a camera that is good for your car and a camera that can be subjected to extreme conditions.
Here we are
About to enter the very dangerous raptor exhibit. I know they're hiding in here somewhere. Oh, crikey, there's one right there. Can't get too close, or else they'll run.